Thanks for your patience. Are we good? Okay. Good morning, everyone. Thank you for your patience while we were getting some kinks with the live stream worked out. We are, for those who are watching remotely, welcome. For those who are here, welcome. For those who don't know me, I'm Victoria Rill. I'm the benefits person here at Illinois Tech. I'm going to be standing behind the podium for most of this. I like to walk around a lot, but I know for the benefit of those listening remotely, you need the microphone. For those who are listening remotely, if you have any questions during the presentation, you are welcome to email me. My email is vrill@iit.edu, and I'll repeat that a few times. It's vrill@iit.edu. With that, I'm going to jump into the presentation. With me this morning is Maureen Rinaldi from Alliant, our benefits broker. She'll be jumping in on the presentation a couple of times this morning as well. So our agenda for this morning, I have a quick thing about an open enrollment event that is still going to occur. I'll talk about what's new for 2019. We'll review the medical, dental, and vision. I'll talk about voluntary life, flexible spending, 403B, and then just some other campus-wide benefits we have here. The employee assistance program, our fitness centers on the main campus, and our tuition benefits. And then I'll show you real quick how to make changes in My IIT. It's the same process this year when it comes to self-service, but how to get there looks a little bit different with the rollout of the new portal last week. So real quick, our event that is still going on, we've got biometric screenings. This is the third year in a row we are offering those. They're going to take place on November 5th, so next Monday, and November 16th. It is open to anyone who is covered on Illinois Tech's health plan. We have a few spots remaining on the 16th, a few spots open on the 5th, a lot more availability on the 16th. They're going on from 7 a.m. to 2 p.m. each of those days in the MTCC blue, yellow, and brown rooms. You'll start in the middle room and check in there. The screenings take about 20-30 minutes. You get a little finger prick blood test, and they spin your blood through a little machine, give you your cholesterol, your A1C, they've got some liver tests. So really good, real quick snapshot of your overall health. It is built to our health plan as a preventive visit, so it's no cost to you. It does not replace your annual doctor visit. This is something that you can do in addition to your annual doctor visit. So feel free to sign up for it. You've got the URL there. That was also included in our open enrollment announcement email that went out, and that announcement that's being repeated with each issue of IIT Today. So that's that. Question, do you need to fast for the biometric screening? It is recommended. That's part of why the event starts so early, because it's, we've got that 7 a.m. start time. For people who are like me, who eat really late at night, you have those appointments later on in the afternoon too. So, good question. So, what's new for 2019? We've got a few things that are new. Number one, biggest change is on both of our medical plans, we're doing what's called a prescription carve-out. Prescriptions will no longer be administered through Blue Cross Blue Shield. They're going to be administered by CVS Caremark. Now, does that mean, biggest question I get is, do you need to go to a CVS to get your prescriptions? No, you do not. And we'll talk about that in a little bit. Other changes on the in-network only PPO, there's a new deductible, new coinsurance rates, ER copay, and out-of-pocket maximum. And then there's a slight increase on the rates for both plans. Next up on the iMed Vision, we've got some enhancements and a rate increase, and we'll talk about that in a little bit as well. What's not changing? Dental staying completely the same, including the rates. We're on the second year of a 2-year rate guarantee with them. Life insurance, flexible spending, commuter accounts, 403B, employee assistance program. All of those are staying the same. So it'll be a really quick review of those benefits. Now, on the prescription change, this is the biggest thing. Everybody's kind of nervous about this. No reason to be nervous. So, as I said, everybody is we're going to have CVS administering our prescriptions. What that means is that you're going to get a new card for prescriptions only. So going into 2019, everyone is going to get new cards for medical from Blue Cross Blue Shield. They're going to remove the prescription information from your medical ID cards, and then you're going to get a new ID card from CVS for your prescriptions. There are no changes to the plan design. So we've worked very carefully with CVS to make sure that everything that is covered under our current plan is covered the same way moving to CVS. That includes any kind of pre-authorization, and anything like that. All the same drugs are going to be covered. There is one slight difference that we are making, and it relates to dispensing limits for opioid drugs. And that's something that, just to be clear, for any new opioid drugs, new opioid prescriptions, there's going to be a 7-day limit initially while they do a review. And that is actually something that Blue Cross Blue Shield was going to be rolling out anyway. So it's a change that would have occurred had we moved to CVS or not. I think we're all familiar with what's going on, the opioid epidemic across the United States. And this is, excuse me, this is in response to that. There are some medication copays that are going to change. There are a handful of people that are going to go up from the brand name level copay to the specialty copay, from a $40 to a $60 copay. But there are going to be a lot more that go from a $60 specialty copay down to a $40 brand name level copay. So that's going to be great for a lot of people. Most of the meds are going to remain at your current price, or have that decrease. Anybody who is impacted on those price changes, you're going to get a special notification during the month of December along with your welcome kit. Little bit more about this RX change. I've already mentioned your prescription refills are not limited to CVS pharmacies. You can stick with Blue Cross Blue Shield. You can stick with Walgreens, Target, Mariano's, wherever you go get your prescriptions filled. You can stick with your regular pharmacies. Anybody who is getting their prescriptions via mail order, your prescriptions are going to be automatically transferred from Prime to CVS mail order, and you'll be getting more information about that as well. There is a new added convenience. For those who don't know, right now you can do a mail order through Prime. And again, that's switching to CVS. What that mail order does is it gives you essentially a 3-month supply for the cost of a 2-month supply. So for any maintenance medication that you're taking, things that you would normally refill every month, you can save a little bit of money and add some convenience with that mail order. The mail order option gives you a 3-month supply for the cost of a 2-month supply. Well, now you have the option to do that 90-day supply, continue through mail order. But if you would like, you can also go to a CVS pharmacy. The retail is only available at a CVS pharmacy. You can get that 90-day supply at a CVS location without having it go through the mail. So that's a really good thing for a lot of people, and it's an added convenience. Just kind of real quick overview of the medical plans. In-network only PPO versus the high deductible plan. Just a reminder, both of those plans operate on the same huge PPO network. Both of them offer all of your preventive care covered at 100%. So under the in-network only PPO, when you go in for your annual physical, you shouldn't be paying a copay. Under the high deductible plan, you don't pay for your visit. Under the in-network only PPO, that's the plan you're used to paying your copays on. Your copays for doctor visits are staying the same. Those are going to be $20 for a primary care doctor and $40 for a specialist. Your ER copay is going to increase to $150. It used to be $125. And then your deductibles are going up a little bit. They are going up to $750 for an individual, $1,500 for a family. On this in-network only PPO, you've got embedded deductibles. What that means is that when one person hits that $750, they start paying the co-insurance. Co-insurance under the in-network only PPO is changing to 80%, which is actually the same as it is under the high deductible plan, so it's a little bit easier then to keep track of everything. And then your out-of-pocket maxes for medical are $3,000 and $6,000. Separate out-of-pocket maximums for prescriptions are $1,000 and $2,000. So your total out-of-pocket maximums for that in-network only PPO plan are going to be $4,000 and $8,000 respectively. Yes. That's a great question. So the question is, if you're getting prescriptions through CVS, are they going to communicate with Blue Cross Blue Shield? Yes, they are. That's really going to be more, it's for people covered under the in-network only PPO, it's really not going to make a difference, because under the in-network only PPO, you have a separate out-of-pocket maximum for prescriptions. So there's really, for them to talk to each other is not really all that important on the in-network only PPO side. Under the high deductible plan side, though, it's very important, because under the high deductible plan, remember, you have no copays, but you do pay in full for your visits and your prescriptions until you hit your deductible. So in that case, Blue Cross Blue Shield definitely needs to know about those prescriptions because they're included in that deductible and out-of-pocket maximum. So we do have a feed going back and forth between Blue Cross Blue Shield and CVS for that purpose. So high deductible plan, you've got that $1,500 individual deductible, $4,500 family deductible. On the high deductible plan, it is not an embedded deductible. So if you're on a 1+1 or family plan, you've got to hit that whole $4,500 before the co-insurance kicks in. Co-insurance is 80%, so the insurance company picks up 80%, you pick up 20% until you hit those out-of-pocket maximums of $3,000 and $6,000 respectively. So question is, for the in-network only PPO, the $1,500 deductible for family, is that with a 1+1? Yeah, that's with a 1+1. So I'm going to talk a little bit now about the high deductible plan and how it's an HSA qualified plan. This is kind of a wordy slide, so I'll talk a little bit through it. And then Maureen's going to jump in and kind of do a plan comparison on the HSA versus the in-network only PPO from a cost perspective. So the high deductible plan, that's the plan where you need to hit that $1,500 or $4,500 deductible until the plan starts picking up a percentage of your care. It is an HSA qualified plan, and for those who are not aware, HSA's health savings accounts are they're pre-tax accounts. You're probably familiar with flexible spending accounts, the pre-tax use it or lose it. This is a little bit different. Health savings accounts are they are pre-tax accounts that you can use for your medical, dental, and vision expenses, but they're not use it or lose it. Any money that you contribute or that IIT contributes on your behalf, if you don't use it, it continues to roll forward indefinitely until you do use it. HSAs are individually owned, which means that when you leave the university, you take your HSA and all of the money in it with you. I have an HSA from a former employer that now I've rolled into my IIT HSA. IIT in 2018 started contributing to HSAs, and we're going to continue that in 2019. If you are an individual, we will contribute $500 annually for you, 1+1, $1,000, and family $1,500. That is prorated, so you get 1/12 of that annual amount contributed to your account at the end of each month. For those who are curious about those amounts, if you're an individual, it's $41.67 a month. On a 1+1, it's $83.33 a month. And for a family level plan, it's $125 a month. Now, the limits for 2019, if you are on a single plan, you can contribute $3,500. On a family plan, it's $7,000. And if you are age 55 or older, you can contribute an additional $1,000 in catch-up contributions. Those limits are a combination of your own contributions and IIT's contributions. I seem to have a, oh, there we go. So if you are interested in the high deductible plan, you switch to that plan during open enrollment, you are automatically going to have an HSA opened for you with HSA Bank. That is one of Blue Cross Blue Shield's preferred vendors. You're going to get a welcome kit that includes a debit card, so you can use your card at the point of sale. You know, if you have to pay a doctor bill or pick up a prescription, as long as the money is in your account, you can use it to you can use that card to pay for your expenses. You can also pay out of pocket and upload your receipts to request reimbursement, or if you prefer, if you have medical expenses but you don't want to tap into your HSA because you want to keep that money just for the future, you can do that as well. You don't have to tap into your HSA. Once you build up your account a little bit, you can move any or all of your account balances into an investment account. And one part of that triple tax advantage nature of your HSA is that you're not taxed on any investment earnings. HSA Bank has partnerships with TD Ameritrade and Devenir Investments, and the process to move it to an investment is actually pretty easy. Last thing is, there is a minimum balance fee that does apply to your HSA. It's only $2 a month. I mention it because some people get really, really upset if I don't mention it and they find out about it later. But it's only $2 a month, and really you can think of it as IIT is paying that for you because we're contributing to your accounts. You can avoid that minimum balance fee by funding your account up to $3,000 as soon as you can. If it takes you a while, it's only $2, and really, if it's any reassurance, HSA Bank, that $2 fee is a little bit less than most of the other vendors. Most of the other vendors are $2.25 or $2.50, so they'll save you 25 or 50 cents. A couple of advantages, or a couple more advantages to your HSA. You've got lower monthly premiums on the high deductible plan. You save because any money that you put into your HSA, you do so on a pre-tax basis. Any money that you pull out, of course, for those medical expenses, you don't pay taxes on. And they're easy to use. You've got ability to invest your funds, all kinds of really, really great stuff. You don't have to spend your HSA money by the end of the year. In fact, you can, I mentioned you can roll over your HSA money indefinitely. There are a couple of things that, there are a couple of ways that people use their money down the road. You can use your HSA to pay for Medicare premiums pre-tax once you get to Medicare age. That's a qualified medical expense. So HSA money builds up, save it for down the road, pay your Medicare premiums pre-tax. There are also certain long-term care insurance premiums that you can pay out of an HSA on a pre-tax basis. I don't have specifics about that. Maureen might have a little bit more information. If not, then check with me in about 2 years, because I'm going to be doing some research on that for my own personal reasons, and I should have more information for you in a couple of years. Steps to maximizing your HSA: you're going to have your account open, get those contributions going. A good rule of thumb is, look at the premium difference between the PPO, what you're probably paying now, and the HSA plan, the high deductible plan. Maybe try and get the monthly premium difference as your HSA contribution. Or, contribute a little bit more if you'd like. Again, you can contribute up to those annual maximums. You can make it your goal to get your HSA funded up to what it would cost to cover the deductible. Then once you get to that level, save a little bit more till you're ready to cover your complete out-of-pocket maximum for the year, so you know that if something happens to you, you've got that money in your account and can use it to pay for those medical expenses. And then maybe once you get your account funded to that level, start putting money into that investment account. I know the stock market's down now, but it'll come back. It always does. So right now, if you invest, you're buying your shares on sale. So then when the market comes back, your account balance will come back as well. And with that, Maureen's going to jump in here with some plan comparisons.
Thank you, Victoria. Good morning, everyone. We put together a few plan comparisons, and they're very arbitrary. So the first slide here is basically laying the foundation for the couple of comparisons that we have done. We chose what the premium contributions would be for someone that's making approximately between $45,000 and $65,000. For the high deductible health plan, the single premium, monthly single premium is $103.65. The family premium would be $245.40. For the PPO plan, the single premium monthly is $181.53, and the family monthly premium is $435.70. And then we just compared what the plans consist of as far as deductible co-insurance, all your out-of-pocket expenses. Under the high deductible health plan, the individual deductible is $1,500 and the family is $4,500. The PPO plan, the individual deductible is $750 and the family deductible is $1,500. Both plans for co-insurance, you will be responsible for 20% after the deductible is met. The out-of-pocket maximums for the high deductible health plan, the individual is an additional $1,500 for single, an additional $1,500 for family, and under the PPO plan, it's $2,250 for single and $4,500 for family. And there, underneath would be the annual premium for a single and family under the high deductible health plan and the PPO plan, based on that category of earnings, 45 to 65. Then we also show that under the HSA plan, the employer, IIT, is what they contribute on a yearly basis. $1,500 for an individual, $1,000 for employee plus one, and $1,500 for a family. So that's for the high deductible health plan. So with those numbers in mind, we did 3 scenarios. Someone that's healthy, probably doesn't go to the doctor very often. We did a middle of the road, and then we did a family comparison where you may incur a lot of expenses. So the first scenario is the healthy person. I don't really go to the doctor. I go for my preventative care, which is no cost. I may go for a few office visits because I have the cold, the flu, and a couple prescriptions. In this case, we just had the 2 office visits total $175, and the RXs total $56. So under a high deductible health plan, those expenses, the office visit and RX, you would have to pay the out-of-pocket until you pay that amount until you reached your deductible. So $225 would go towards your deductible. You would be paying that. Your annual premium for the year for a single under that 45 to 65 earnings category is $1,243. So your total expenses are $1,464. Now, because you're a single, IIT will contribute $500 towards your HSA account. So you can use that to pay for your expenses. So your net cost there shows which is $964. Now I take the same scenario and put it to the PPO plan. Because it's RXs and office visits, you just pay copays. That does not go towards your deductible. So we're assuming again, it's arbitrary. 2 office visits, each of them $20. The RX copay is $20. So you have $60 in copays. The annual premium is $2,175 for a single under that earnings category. So your total expenses are $2,238. You do not get any contribution from IIT. You're not in the HSA plan. So your total out-of-pocket expense in this case is $2,238. So you can see the difference right there in savings. Scenario number 2 is more middle of the road. High deductible health plan. Oh, let's first go. Okay, total medical expenses are $6,050. And this consists of some office visits that equal $350, some RXs that equal $1,200, and a hospital bill of $4,500. That easily could probably even be an emergency room because emergency room care is so expensive. But under the high deductible health plan, everything is subject to the deductible. You do not have any copays, so the first $1,500 would be your expense. Then the balance, which would be $4,550, you would pay 20% of that bill, which is $910. Your annual premium, again, is $1,243, so your total expenses would be your deductible, your coinsurance, and your annual premium, which equals $3,653. Again, you have $500 that is put into your account by IIT, so if you do use that to help cover some of those costs, then your net out-of-pocket would be $3,153. Using the same example under the PPO plan, the only charge in this scenario that would go towards the deductible is the hospital bill of $4,500. So you would have to, that would go towards your deductible, which is $750. The balance of the hospital bill is $3,750, which you are responsible for 20%, and that would be $750 also. The additional out-of-pocket is your copays and your copays for your office visit and your RXs, which we totaled approximately $500. And then your annual premium under the PPO plan, $2,178. So again, total expenses would be your deductible, your coinsurance, the copays that you had to pay, and your annual premium, for a total of $4,178, no HSA contribution, so that is totally your out-of-pocket expense. So again, you can see the savings. And the third scenario, we just said the family in total had $100,000 in expenses. It doesn't matter what it was. So under a high deductible health plan, if total family members you incurred $100,000, the family deductible, which you are responsible for, is $4,500. Then your additional coinsurance, that's the 20% that you pay after your deductible, of $1,500, plus your annual premium. So the family annual premium under the high deductible health plan is $2,945. So your total expenses are $8,945. HSA contribution for a family is $1,500, so the net out-of-pocket would be $7,445. Same scenario under the PPO plan. You would have to satisfy your $1,500 family deductible. Your coinsurance, which is the 20% that you pay, is $4,500, again, for a total of $6,000. Your premium under this plan is for a family is $5,228. Total expenses, $11,228. So that is where you could see the big difference in the savings. Now what you can do, just real briefly, you say if you go from the PPO plan to the HSA plan, your premium does go down. In the scenario that we had originally put up for someone earning $45,000 to $65,000, the difference in the single premium, I believe, was $77.88. So the difference you could also then put into your HSA. You're saving almost $78 a month, besides what IIT puts in for a single person $500. That extra $78 you're saving in premium, you can put that into your HSA. So you don't have to ever think, where am I going to find extra money to put into an HSA? Just the difference in your premium could be your extra money. Okay.
So somebody had a question, the family premiums that were listed, the person asked, is the 400 some dollars what the employee pays or what IIT pays? That is what the employee pays. So that everybody's aware, that is only a small chunk of the overall premium. A lot of exiting employees have what I like to call COBRA sticker shock, because they'll come to my office, they'll ask about COBRA, they'll find that for the in-network only PPO, the COBRA price tag is about $1,800, and that's because that's the full premium. So if you want to think about it, IIT covers between the $400 that you cover and the $1,800. So that's what we're picking up every month for the cost of your insurance. So just a little note about that. With that, I'm going to jump into talking a little bit about Benefit Value Advisor and member rewards. This is something that we added in 2018 as part of the health plan. This is something that I think the high deductible plan members, for those people who are thinking about the high deductible plan, this may give you a little bit more peace of mind, but it's also available to the in-network only PPO members for no additional cost. Benefit Value Advisor is a service that will provide cost comparison for procedures. It will help you find providers, and it will help with your pre-certification. A great example of this, we have a flyer that Blue Cross Blue Shield put out that one of the examples is an MRI. Pretty standard procedures these days. Well, how do you know how much an MRI costs? You don't. And oftentimes, you will not have any idea what it's going to cost you or the health plan until after you have the procedure. You go to your doctor, doctor says, your doctor's in a hospital setting. You go to your doctor, the doctor says, you need to have an MRI, you can go 2 rooms down the hall and get it done. You have no idea that MRI is going to cost $3,000. You also don't know that, there's an MRI center maybe a couple blocks from your house. An MRI costs $500. It's the same exact procedure. It's the same exact thing. It's a big machine. They put you in the machine. The machine sends out a scan. Same thing. One costs $500. One costs $3,000. Benefit Value Advisor will help you figure that out in advance. If you're on the high deductible plan, well, now even if you're on the in-network only PPO plan, with that slightly higher deductible, if you pay $500 versus $3,000, that's money in your pocket that you are saving. It's also money that you're saving the plan, which translates to less of an increase in premiums down the road. If everyone can help use Benefits Value Advisor and save a little bit of money, it translates to fewer increases down the road. And then we have paired that with a service called Member Rewards. Member Rewards is going to give you a cash incentive for using that that more cost-effective provider. We've had a few people this year take advantage of this, mostly for things like MRIs, and people are getting checks for $50 or $75. This is also available for most major surgeries, for maternity care, for routine things like mammograms and colonoscopies. And while those are going to give you a little bit less of an incentive, I think it's like $25 for a colonoscopy. Who doesn't, for something that is that unpleasant, why not get $25 to go do it, The reassurance that you have through Blue Cross Blue Shield is they have vetted all of these providers, so the standard of care is the same. You don't have to worry about the $500 MRI, being a clunky machine that doesn't work. It's the same standard of care. It's just the price is a lot lower. So this is something that, again, is available to you. You connect to Benefits Value Advisor just by calling the number on the back of your ID card. So it's it's kind of a no-brainer. So just keep that in mind. If you have had an MRI and you get a call from Benefit Value Advisor, they do some outbound calling. So take advantage of it. Shop around a little bit. Any questions on that? Okay. Again, for anybody who's viewing remotely, if you have questions, feel free to email me, vrill@iit.edu. And I just checked a minute ago, no questions yet, so just send them in if you have any. I'm going to jump into dental, just give a really quick overview. We've got two plans. We've got a DHMO and a PPO. The DHMO is the Delta Care Network through Delta Dental. It is super cost effective, but the network is really small. It's also kind of restrictive. You do have to pick a dentist and get all of your coverage through that dentist. You have to, if you need to see a specialist, you have to get a referral. The upsides to the plan, aside from the costs being really low, are it provides orthodontic coverage for anyone, and there's no annual benefit maximum. So if you need a lot of dental work done, you might want to look at this plan. The PPO, while it is, it's a bigger network and it's a lot more, and offers a lot more flexibility, the premiums are higher. You are free to visit any provider. However, as with all care, it is most cost effective and user friendly if you stay in the network. Under this plan, orthodontic work is only covered until age 18, so only for your child dependents, and then you have a $2,000 annual benefit maximum. You will notice the little thing up there that says there are no rate or plan design changes for 2019. Next up, we've got IMED. That's our separate vision plan. By the way, I don't think I mentioned this under Blue Cross Blue Shield. There is a vision discount with Blue Cross Blue Shield. It is through IMED. It used to be through Davis Vision, so this was a little bit less confusing for everybody. But we've got this separate vision plan through IMED. The Blue Cross Blue Shield benefit is once every 2 years. You get an exam and $200 for eyewear. With the IMED benefit, it is a once every 12-month benefit. It is an additional cost, but for people who go for eye exams every year, get new glasses, or refill their contacts, it's a pretty good benefit, kind of a no-brainer. This gives you an allowance for frames or contacts, and in 2019, we're increasing the allowance. It was $130. We're bumping it up to $150 because Alliant helped us do some analysis. We found that the majority of our members are spending more than $150 when it comes to glasses or contacts. You know, these were pretty pricey glasses right here, so I will appreciate that increase myself. There is a 20% discount if you go above that allowance, and then if you're buying glasses, you've got copays for different lenses: bifocals, trifocals, single vision, transition lenses, anti-glare, all kinds of stuff like that. There's a LASIK discount, and this can be paired with the Blue Cross Blue Shield vision benefit. The way you do that is you will go to an IMED provider, run all of your care through IMED, and then once every 2 years, if you pay anything above that, you know, because most of the time we're going to pay more, we're going to pay something even though we've got that allowance. We get glasses that are more expensive, or we spend, you know, $400 on contacts for the year. Submit your receipt for whatever you pay to Blue Cross Blue Shield, and once every 2 years, they're going to send you back up to $200, or if you're on the high deductible plan and you have not met your deductible, apply that $200 to your deductible. And then last thing, I did mention there's a slight premium increase, but the good thing is we're on a 4-year rate guarantee now. So with IMED, for a single person, the rates are going from around $5.60 to about $6.90 per month, and that, if you do the math, the premium increase per year is less than the extra amount you get for the allowance. So that hopefully should work well for everybody. And now we know we've got those rates set through like 2022. So pretty far ahead there. Moving on to life insurance. So just a reminder to everybody that Illinois Tech does pay for basic life insurance for everyone. There is a benefit amount of 2 times your salary, rounded up to the next nearest thousand. There are slight reductions when you hit age milestones, 65, 70, and so on. And all of that information is on the HR portal if you are interested. This is paid for by IIT. I do like to point out that it is subject to imputed income, There's this thing at the bottom of everybody's paycheck that says imputed income. I get all kinds of calls. What is that? Why are you deducting this from my paycheck? We're not deducting it from your paycheck. It's factored into your taxable earnings at the end of the year. If you need more information, let me know. I've got an IRS fact sheet on it. And then this is where I take the opportunity to say, remember to update your beneficiaries. It's really important. Just be mindful of that all the time. If you have a change in marital status, or if you have had more children and you want to add them as contingent beneficiaries, maybe you have a parent as a contingent or as a beneficiary and they pass away, just remember to update your beneficiaries. Take some time every year just to review your beneficiaries for your life insurance, for your retirement plans, for anything, for your HSA, because HSA plans, you can have beneficiaries for those. So just remember to do that. And I will note that life insurance beneficiary information is not currently housed in my IIT. So if you need to confirm who you have on file for your life insurance, just give me a call and I can look it up for you pretty quickly. On to voluntary life. So we do offer voluntary life. This is additional life insurance that you can purchase in increments of your salary, 1 up to 7 times your salary. If you want to cover any of your dependents, you must enroll yourself. Note about employee coverage for anyone who has enrolled at the 1 time your salary level. Dearborn National is offering, you can increase to 2 times your salary without going through medical underwriting. If you are a new enrollee entirely, or you're increasing beyond that amount, then it's subject to medical underwriting. You can cover your spouse in $10,000 increments, 10 up to $100,000. Your spouse can only have half of what you have, and then you can cover children in $5,000 or $10,000 increments. To enroll or increase your voluntary life election, it does require the completion of paper forms. Those are on the HR portal and pretty easy to find there. In addition to the optional voluntary supplemental life, you can enroll in additional AD&D coverage. AD&D stands for accidental death and dismemberment. Not the most glamorous term, but now you know. You can cover yourself and your family, if you wish, at 1, 2, or 3 times your salary. You do have to be covered in the voluntary life to enroll in the AD&D. And then again, to enroll or increase your election, you want to complete the enrollment forms and return it to HR by 3 p.m. on November 16th. Oh, sorry, we've got a quick question on. That's a really great question. The question is, does the life insurance go with you? It does in 2 ways. You can, for your group life insurance, the life insurance that Illinois Tech pays for, you can convert that, any or all of your amount, to a whole life policy. So right now you're covered under term life, but you can convert it to a whole life policy within 31 days of leaving Illinois Tech. For your optional life, your voluntary life, you can port that to a term life policy, but you have to have been covered for a year. If you have not been covered for a year under the voluntary life, then you have conversion privileges on that as well. So, great question. Was there another question? Okay, same question. All right, so we're going to talk a little bit about flexible spending accounts, and Maureen's going to pop back up for that.
Okay, you also have the flexible spending care account to enroll in, and what this is, it allows you to set aside pre-tax dollars for your qualified medical, dental, and vision expenses. There is an annual limit of $2,650. Now, if you're in the PPO plan, you can enroll in this, set aside $2,650, help use it to pay for any of your medical, dental, vision expenses. If you're in the HSA plan, the high deductible plan, because you can open up an HSA account to put money away for qualified medical expenses, You really can't enroll in the full HSA account, but they have a compatible one that you are allowed to enroll in, and that you can use, but it only can be used for vision and dental. So the health savings account, you can use that for medical, dental, and vision, but if you're really into maximizing your savings, if you can do that, you would use the HSA account for any medical expenses, and then you can use the compatible HSA FSA for just dental and vision if you did not want to use your HSA for dental and vision. So PPO members can use the full FSA. High deductible health plan members, you would have the compatible one just for dental and vision. With the flexible spending account, you do want to be conservative because any money that you set aside has to be spent or you lose it. So you always want to sort of calculate what were my expenses last year, are they going to be about the same this year, and put in that amount or maybe even a little less. IIT's plan does have a grace period. Is that 2.5 months? Okay. What the grace period is at the end of the calendar year, if you still have some monies left in your FSA account, you are allowed 2.5 months to spend that down. So it actually goes to March 15th. You must re-enroll. So if you're already in the FSA for 2018, it doesn't carry over like all your other benefits. You do have to re-enroll every year. With the FSA account, you do get a debit card, which allows you to pay for services and expenses, so you don't have to write a check or use your own credit card when you're at the doctor going to pick up your prescription. You can use that debit card to pay for the expenses right away. You can also set up payments for providers via the website. So if you, let's say, are going for therapy and you go every 2 weeks or every month and you continuously have the same bill that's coming in, you could go online and set it up so that the payment goes to that provider every month. You can also upload your receipts onto the app to send them, or you can go online and submit them that way if you do a paper receipt. And to enroll, again, you have to enroll every year, and you would enroll in www.wageworks.com. Okay. You also have Dependent Care FSA. This allows you to set aside pre-tax dollars for qualified daycare expenses. So if you are working, you or your spouse are working and you have a child and you're paying for daycare expenses, it also does cover some adult daycare expenses. There are stipulations for that, but you can set aside money to help pay for that pre-tax. IIT does limit it to $4,000 per employee. The federal limit is $5,000 per household. The limit here is $4,000, so if you have a spouse, they offer this benefit, they can put in an additional $1,000. Grace period does not apply to the dependent daycare, so make sure, again, you figure out what those expenses are, because what is left at the end of the year, that will definitely be gone. And again, it is an FSA, even though it's for dependent daycare, you must re-enroll for 2019. Okay, also through WageWorks is the commuter transit benefit. This allows the employees to set aside pre-tax dollars for your qualified transit and parking expenses. The federal limit is $260 per month. This can be changed at any time, so you can go in each month and change the amount that you elect. And if you do have the same amount each month, you can set it so that it's recurring every month also, so you don't have to go in each time. If you're parking daily at the MEES, I say that wrong every year, sorry. If parking at the MEES campus, do not use WageWorks for the pre-tax parking. Okay, any administrative fees that come along with the FSA accounts, whether it's the medical, the compatible FSA, the dependent daycare, or the parking, if there are administrative fees, IIT does pick those up.
Okay, thanks, Maureen. One last note that I forgot to put on the slide, with regard to WageWorks for the pre-tax commuter accounts, something that people don't know, you can now elect commuter funds, pre-tax funds for Uber Pool and Lyft Line. So if you are interested in that, there are flyers about that on the HR portal. But yeah, they're really cool, and it has to be only for the Uber Pool or the Lyft Line, so those pooled transportation share services. Moving on to the retirement plan, just a couple of real quick reminders. The IRS maximum, well, the speculation with the IRS maximum has been that they were going to raise it to $19,000. But they have, the IRS, and there's buzz all over the internet, you know, somebody posted an article in July, the IRS maximums are going up. Well, the IRS has not said anything about it. And normally by this time they have, or they would have. So right now it is remaining at a maximum contribution of $18,500, and that's employee contributions. If you are 50 or over, and so if you are turning 50 in 2019, then you can take advantage of the catch-up contribution all year as well. You are eligible for catch-up contributions of an additional $6,000 for a total of $24,500, and that's employee contributions. The IRS maximum is a contribution of your matched and unmatched contributions, and what that means is, so you know, for those who contribute the 4%, so that the university gives you the 9%, but then you do an additional 6%. The IRS maximum would be your 4% and your 6% together. If you would like to change your contributions at any time, you can fill out a salary reduction agreement form, and this is just going live. We have not had the opportunity to announce it. If you want to change any part of your unmatched contribution, you can do it in My IIT. That's brand new. We've been working on it for a long time with some folks on the OTS team, and so watch for an announcement about that in IIT today soon. If you're making changes to your matched contribution, you still got to send in a form. And if you contributed the maximum, the IRS maximum, in 2018, and you want to do that again for 2019, you don't have to do anything. And that includes, if the IRS decides at the last minute that they want to raise the limit, then we'll take care of that increase for you if you've already elected the maximum. We'll make sure that your contributions are bumped up if necessary. Moving on, a couple of little benefits here that I like to remind people as often as possible about. We have an employee assistance program called LifeWorks. LifeWorks is fantastic. They are completely free. They're confidential. They're available 24/7. If you call somebody at 3:30 in the morning because you are having some kind of crisis, there will be somebody to pick up the phone and help you through that crisis. They provide counseling sessions, for short-term counseling sessions. If you need more counseling sessions that you get through the EAP, they can help you they will work with you to help you find somebody that Blue Cross Blue Shield will cover. There are also work-life balance resources. You know, we've talked about flexible spending, daycare. You need to find a daycare. You need to find an adult daycare for your parents. You have some kind of big life transition coming up. You know, your parents are retiring. You need to move them into a nursing home, something like that. That's all work-life balance related. WageWorks is going to have LifeWorks is going to have some resources for you. They also have discounts. So log in, check it out. I know there's a TurboTax discount every year, and then there are various other things. But it's completely free for you as well as your family members. Your family members don't even have to live in your house. You do need a username and password. It's on the HR portal, but they've got an app as well. You download the app, you plug in that username and password, then anytime you bring up the app, it's going to come up. You're not going to need to log in again. Their phone number is on the app as well, so you can call them without connecting to the HR portal once you have that app up. I do like to point out that on the Mies campus, we've got some fitness center options for you. As a reminder, Keating is available for you completely free. They have a weight room, cardio equipment, and group fitness classes. The schedule of the group fitness changes, I think, each semester, so check out IllinoisAthletics.com or IllinoisTechAthletics.com for that schedule. There's also a workout room on the 6th floor of the tower that has some cardio equipment, a little weight circuit. There are faculty staff yoga classes in there a couple times a week. There's a small fee for those. You can buy a punch card at IllinoisTechAthletics.com for that as well. And then just real quick reminder, we do have plenty of tuition assistance benefits for everyone. Tuition remission for Illinois Tech classes, tuition reimbursement for outside classes. There are some stipulations on all of these things. And then tuition exchange scholarships. We just announced the winners of the tuition exchange scholarships, so congratulations to those kids for their future, I guess. With that, I'm going to jump in real quickly, kind of wrap it up with a real quick overview of how to make changes. There are, so that you are aware, there are detailed instructions on the HR portal. If you connect to the HR portal, you go to the benefits page. At the very top, there's a big bold thing that says, for instructions on how to make changes, click here. Click there, it'll bring up the instructions for you. All changes for medical, dental, and vision must be made through my IIT. This allows you to review your coverage, change plans, add your dependents, and do all kinds of stuff. Remember, again, life insurance beneficiary information is not housed in my IIT. So when you look at those beneficiaries and dependents, any beneficiaries for the life insurance are not going to be in there. You can, when you are adding dependents, please remember that we do require proof of dependent status. So if you're adding a new dependent, you don't see them in there, and you add them and hook them into a plan, you've got to follow up with HR, send me proof of relationship. That would be, if you're adding a spouse and you've never had them on the plan, we need a marriage certificate. And that does include, if you've been married for 40 years and you're adding your spouse and you have no idea where your marriage certificate is, you do have to go order one. If it takes longer than open enrollment to get it, that's okay. Give me a receipt. But I know that has happened to a couple of people in the past. Well, I'm adding my spouse. We got married, 40 years ago. I have no idea where this is. So that's okay. We can work with you on that. With your online open enrollment, you can go in, confirm your plans, change your plans. If you are on the high deductible plan and you want to put in your HSA election right there, you can do that or update it. And again, complete instructions are available in the open enrollment announcement, which is being repeated in IIT today, and it's on the HR portal as well. A couple of checklist items for you. And this is a really important reminder. If you're making changes in my IIT to any of your benefits, it's a really good idea to send an email to me, or you can send it to the HR mailbox and I'll get it, to make sure your changes were successful. You do have to follow the entire checklist for the changes. There's one little last step that if you don't hit the complete button, your open enrollment is not done. People complain, well, why is this way? That's just kind of inherent. This is the third different online open enrollment system I've worked in. It's the same way with all of the systems. There's like that final thing that you got to do that everybody misses everywhere. So just make sure you follow the directions all the way to the end, and then you can always email me to make sure your changes are complete. Question in the back. Good question. Question was, if you don't want to make any changes, will your current status roll forward? For medical, dental, and vision elections, as well as life insurance, all of that will carry forward, as will 403B elections. The only thing that you do have to re-enroll in is flexible spending accounts. And you do that, again, directly through WageWorks. So, all changes need to be made by 3 p.m. on November 16th. That includes any changes in your My IIT portal, includes proof of dependent status being sent to HR. If you are updating voluntary life enrollment, I need those paper forms by 3 p.m. on the 16th. Salary reduction agreements for your 403B changes, and then for WageWorks, make sure you enroll on their site. I'm going to see if we have any email questions, and we have a question here. Good question. Does your commuter transit money roll over? It rolls over to a point. I think it's 6 months or so you have to use it in. So, okay. That it rolls over to a point. I think it's 6 months. Send me. The question was, does my commuter money roll over? So send me an email and I will double check that for you. I can confirm that, for example, if you have money going to a Venture card, it gets sent to your Venture card and then it stays on your Venture card until you use it. You've got to be careful with the Venture cards though, because there's a maximum dollar amount that you can put on a Venture card. It used to be around $300, and I haven't checked with the CTA for a while. So if you've got, let's say you have $100 a month going to a Venture card and you only use 80 and those funds build up, once you get to a certain amount, you can't put any more on the Venture card. You can always set the Venture money you can work with the CTA to buy 30-day passes or weekly passes or whatever. But remember, if you're getting to that point where your commuter account is kind of maxing out, you can change your election with WageWorks anytime you want. So, any more questions from the room? Great, we don't have any email questions. So with that, I thank you all for your attention. If you would like any kind of open enrollment goodies, I forgot to bring them here. I was kind of a little pressed for time. But stop by HR. We've got all kinds of goodies like Band-Aids and hand sanitizer and tissues and stuff. So come on up to HR. We've got that for you. Thanks very much, everybody.